Hello. So welcome to another video in this Airbnb clone Ruby on Rails YouTube series. And in last video, we added the wish list and it is working correctly. Refresh, added, refresh, removed, refresh. Yeah, it is working correctly. Now on the home screen, we have two things pending. We have shown the ratings and all those things, sliders and all. We want to show this reservation related details when the property is available. And we want this hosted by, but I think I will remove this hosted by Rajat because even if it is hosted by some prince, uh, okay, that's way too much. But if it is hosted by someone XYZ, it won't matter to user, right? I think even Airbnb, yeah, even Airbnb has removed it. They do mention kilometers, but I don't think that's also important. Uh, yeah, so in any ways, I'll just remove this string first. Hosted by, let's remove this. And we will start working on this reservations part, this availability part basically. So how can you make sure that the property is available or not? If you have reservations in place, then you can understand whether a property is available or not. Okay, so let's go to TL draw. What all things are important for reservation? Okay, great. It's way too small, but yeah, reservations, right? A user will reserve slash, you can also write it as book or book property. Okay, reserv. Maybe I should write reservations because, sorry, booking, because I think booking.com does have an option of reserve which is completely different than reservations. Let me have a look. Ahmedabad. They do have an option of reserve, but that doesn't mean that it is getting booked. Uh, so you can decide on your own. For now, I'll just stick to this reservation. So a user will reserve a property, right? That means user ID is required, property ID is required. They will have to select from which date they are coming and on which date they will go, right? So check-in date is required and checkout date is required. Along with that, they will have to mention that how many people are there, two guests, four guests, those kind of things. Uh, but but for now, I'll just skip that because in Airbnb, in this particular project, I'll assume that if they're booking a property, it's fully reserved because it's Airbnb. They do have partial bookings also, but I don't want to complicate things because if I implement this number of guests, then each time that's database part, that's not an issue. For now, I'll skip it and later on, if we have enough time, we can easily implement that. And I'll add a to do for this. Okay. I should have added to do for past things also, but okay. We can do that actually. Hash. Uh, Wait. So what I do is command backslash is a shortcut or control backslash, whatever based on your code. And I'll write to do add distance from property based on location. I'm just writing this. I might not implement this, but if we have enough time later on, we might do that. Uh, so this is related to this one. Okay. Now let's focus on reservations part. Okay. The advantage of writing this format is that imagine we have a lot of these similar comments across the project. I will just search to do. It will show all the comments related to that, and I can go through them and decide which one I have to do. I have to fix. Okay. Or on my GitHub, I can create an issue. So it's sort of project management part, not fully, but yeah. So let's go ahead and create our table. So let me increase the size. What we will do? We have to create a table. So Rails generate model. We'll name this as reservations. What all things will be there? It will reference user. It's somewhat similar to wishlist, but it does have check-in and check-out date also. User references, property references, and date in PostgreSQL. I think it's just date, but I think it's just writing date or PostgreSQL data types or Rails date. Yeah. So check-in underscore date. This is the name for date. Checkout underscore date, which is again a date. Enter. Let's see what it has generated. Or maybe I'll index this too. References user, references property, check-in date, checkout date. Looks good. Let me add index also. Because it's on home page, I want this information to be a bit quick. Reservations. Then instead of user ID, I will use property ID. I will use check-in date. Will it be required? For availability, it will be checkout date. Okay. So we have made changes to our database. That means we will have to do migration. Rails G migrate. No, sorry. Rails DB migrate. There is some error. Index resolution or user to do this. Okay, let's remove this. There is some error related to that. We'll see if this later on. Okay, it has been done. Get bin/dev. Sorry, I'll have to stop my previous server and then start bin/dev. Okay, everything is still working. Let's close this, close this, close this. Now, again, this is, I think, third time we are going through this. Whenever we create a model table or we do a migration, we check out all the tables or all the models which will affect this particular table, which are affected because of this migration. So reservations model, user model, and property. And check-in date out date and checkout date are just columns. So let's go to our reservation models, reservation, user, property. In reservation, we already have these two things, and we will have to validate also. So validates check-in date and checkout date. Those two things we have added. Now let's go to user. So it's somewhat similar to this, but I will again write it from scratch. A user, a user will have many reservations, right? So will have has many reservations, yeah, and dependent destroy. So for example, if user profile is destroyed, we want to destroy all its related reservations also. Okay, has many reserved properties. Sorry. Okay, so a user does have a lot of reserved properties. And how will we get this information? We'll get this information from our reservations. So this will give us reservation models only. Yeah, reservations, sorry. Source property, obviously, because we are talking about reserved properties, and dependent destroy. Okay, so similar to this, I'll add this in property also, but I'm not sure if we will use this or not. So if you don't want to set this up in advance, that's completely fine. And you can do it later on also. Reserve users, reservations, source should be user, and dependent destroy. So for this particular property, we'll get all the reservations for various users. So we have done the basic setup part. Let's try to create something. Rails C reservation. Okay, let's stop this here only because I think I'll have to explain the concept of date and yeah, and I might not have that much time. In actually in next 10 minutes, I have a meeting with one of our YouTube subscribers. Uh, so I think I'll just stop this video here. Basically, we have set up our reservations. Now, what we will do in next video is that from property, basically we will first add some dummy data, and along with that, from property, we'll use this reserved users, and based on that, using that, or we'll use these reservations as well as reserved user, and from that, we'll find current reservations that we have for XYZ property. Okay. Now, if we have reservations, for example, today is 29th January, right? So, for example, we have a reservation for 30 to 31st January, then we can easily say that it is available from 1st of February. Okay. Uh, and we can write it as 1st Feb to 5 days. Maybe we'll consider 5 days. So 1st Feb to 5th of Feb, it will be available. So something like that we can try to find out. But yeah, first we'll have to make reservations, and based on that we can find out availability. Uh, yeah, for now I'll stop this video. Uh, Once in next video we will finish the reservations also, not fully, but at least we'll show the availability part here. And after that, there will be one important video which will explain a lot of things about Rails to you. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you. Bye bye.